hour set to start things off at 125. And what a matchup it is. Spencer Lee 8-0 on the year. 5 of those 8 victories coming via the fall. Liam Cronin 13-2 and coming off a terrific weekend. Victories last week against Patrick McKee and a pin of Northwestern's Michael D'Agostino. There is simply no wrestler in the country who grabs the attention quite like Spencer Lee, coming back from that surgery on both knees. This young man has not lost a beat. Welcome in those wrestling fans who have just concluded watching Penn State's victory over Michigan. We're just about to get started here at Carver Hawkeye, and what a start it is. A top 3 showdown between Spencer Lee and Liam Cronin. Big Ten Network is proud to present Big Ten Wrestling, presented by Cliff Keen Athletic. And Spencer Lee right away goes for the shot, gets the leg of Cronin, aggressive from the jump. Happy to be joined by Jim Gibbons on the call. Just a few seconds in from Iowa City, and Spencer Lee already pushing the pace.
Tell you what, Lee doing a great job here. Elbow deep on that bottom leg. He's got that bottom leg cradle locked up. If he can adjust his grip there, this is going to be trouble for Cronin. Staying with it. That's really tight. Really tight. He's trying to settle back.
Unbelievable. It takes Spencer Lee all of 38 seconds to pin the number 3 wrestler in the country. What can this man not accomplish?
Shake hands, guys.
You see Lee here with that cradle locked up here, and all he's looking to do is get that grip a little bit tighter up closer to the neck right there, and as he settles back on this next move, he's flatter than flat right there. All the way back there. Great call on the fall right there, but again, he's read the clippings. He knows that Liam Cronin is right there, ranked number 3. Huge separation between he and the pack.
Spencer Lee and Real Woods remain undefeated. Here's the next. Peyton Robb, ranked number 1 in the country at 157. Brings with him a record of 17-0. Out of Owatonna, Minnesota. Won 3 state titles at Owatonna. And he's been wrestling really well. Jim, last week, a pair of 2-0 victories. His path to victory, good position, escapes, and riding.
Yeah, you know, he does all the things that like we talked about with Roman Bravo Young here in the previous match, that he's got the ability to go ahead, win those tight ones, win those gritty ones, but also has the ability that we've seen before to go ahead and, you know, do the big moves it takes to go ahead and beat really good wrestlers. So I've been impressed with this Cobe Siebrecht too. I mean, this is a guy who didn't really focus on wrestling during his high school years. He's a multi-sport athlete. Gets to here in the big stage. His first year where he's really kind of trained all year, and you know, 7-1 record at this point in time going into the you know, the Big Tens. I mean, that's the Big Ten schedule, the meat of it anyway, is pretty good. Now
and a really nice win against Trevor Chumbley of Northwestern, the Midlands champion. That's a top 10 opponent.
You see what he did right there? Robb went to the low shot right there, and Siebrecht is all about dropping his chest, not worrying about the head-hands defense, not worrying about blocking out with the top of his head, but bringing his hips in, all right? Now he finds himself in a scramble situation. He comes back up on top of it here. Good job by Robb settling back, but you can see why a guy like this has a lot of potential. He's just got to spend more time on the mat.
Siebrecht out of Lisbon, Iowa, 3-time state champion in Iowa at Lisbon.
Yeah, look at him grab both ankles right there. I think Robb's going to get the technique here, but he gave up the ankle right there. He's got to make one more roll through here, pass.
90 seconds in, 2-0 for the Cornhusker Robb.
Watch the knee right there in this position, that inside knee right there, a bad way. how he gets it out of there.
Peyton Robb last season, 5th at the Big Tens, 4th at the NCAAs as a 10 seed. Won 5 matches on the backside. Of course, that crazy match in the Conci semis with Ja'Cory Teamer. Beat him 6-4. Ultimately fell to David Carr of Iowa State 7-2 in that 3rd place match. But just been a consistent staple last several years here in this Nebraska lineup. Spent some time at 165 as well. Had back in 2021.
I think with the style that he likes to wrestle, that the dropping down to 157 has been better for him. He's been better shape. I mean, part of the weight cut, you're not carrying around those few extra pounds that might slow you down or get you tired.
Kept his left toe in bounds for as long as he could. Takes riding time to a minute.
Yeah, take a look at this. Right, he's able to free his ankles, but again, notice that hand up, elevation with his head up, turning back into him, creating that hip separation. Allred Duffy gives the 2.
Big 30 seconds right here. This is where Peyton Robb excels. Finishing periods on top. Good with the mat returns, just really stingy, sticky in that top position.
You see how he spread him out there with that little hook on that ankle right there from the inside? Actually from the outside coming in. That was well done right there, just spreading out his base. I just wonder how good wrestlers do that. They spread out your base.
Final seconds, Siebrecht working to his feet. But time is going to run out on the Hawkeye. Classic Peyton Robb, takedown and a ride out in the 1st. Now he'll go on bottom.
Second period.
You know what I like just the
you got 132 advantage.
The nonverbal things that you see out of Robb this season. The wry smile, the breathing through his nose, and it's just the sparkle in his eye. I mean, this guy has the look of a confident wrestler.
Green, you're early there.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
Guys, we got to breathe pause.
I listened to Shane Sparks last week, and he said that you might as well get, at least get 2 of them in the bank, and that was 1.
I label this guy the mayor of tough wrestling city, Peyton Robb. He's just very good at what he does, stays within himself.
Nice roll through there. And I love just whenever Siebrecht is in doubt he's just driving forward. He's not bailing out of stuff. I mean, you can tell why this guy has a future in the sport just because he's difficult. And even though he's going against the #1 ranked guy, he's really challenging him. Not out there to just give up the major. He may give up the major anyway, but he's in certain situations, he's been challenging. I like that. You can build off of that.
Robbie, takedown and a reversal. Leads it 4-0.
1, we're neutral.
Here's an escape. Hawkeye with 1 on the board.
Improve it.
You see that Robb is kind of frozen on that position. See if you get the youngster to do something that improve his position. That really makes it better for Robb.
We're neutral.
Mark Manning, 299 career victories.
And most of them were in that sweater vest, either red, gray, black.
The black one, yes.
Yep.
In his 23rd season at Nebraska. 26th season overall, was at Northern Iowa for 3 years. Began his head coaching career in the 1997-98 season.
See both corners kind of exerting their guys on here. Go get it. Go get that takedown here. Just don't stand in the middle. You see the activity level, upper body increasing here with Robb. We'll see if he has the shot that he's going to hit. If not, I mean, it's a good stretch there for Siebrecht.
Final seconds, Robb with a single leg.
Good job of finishing that.
With 2 seconds left, Peyton Robb puts a pair on the board late in the 2nd.
What I like about this situation, he had options. When he came up to his feet off this single leg, he could go to the outside, all right, keep on going to the outside, but he came up on the inside of the leg. And when you do that, there's usually no roll through. We saw where the roll through action that Real Woods got caught on in the 41. When you decide to come up on the inside, club that head, make a nice trip. Good work.
Peyton Robb in 3 Big Ten tournaments. Been top 5. He was 3rd in 2020, fourth in 2021, fifth. His lowest finish at the Big Tens last year, but as I said, his best finish then at the NCAAs. Gets a 1 count there on the tilt.
Really tough position here for Siebrecht to be in. He's got to get his wrist back. You know, you say, how do you do that? You got to roll him out underneath there, make him tough to get, you know, because he's just going to follow with it. And Robb, an experienced rider, the right-hand side, you know, helps him. Gives up the stalwart, mainly because it's a bad visual because he had his head on the mat. Now he's got his head up on the mat, looks a little better, can hand fight.
Peyton Robb, point of emphasis this season has been his work in the top position. Gives him the escape.
You know, this situation where the meat's in hand, you know, I don't think you can tire this guy out, Peyton Robb. So look for something big. We saw Siebrecht in Iowa State meet have a big throw from a bear hug position.
That was that 10-2 major decision over Jason Kreiser of the Cyclones. Riding time is locked up, so Robb up by 5. With 20 seconds left, probably going to be a decision. Robb maintaining position center of the mat, keeping territory. And Peyton Robb will remain undefeated. Now 18-0 with the 7-2 decision here tonight inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. Robb puts the Cornhuskers on the scoreboard. 174 pounds pits Nelson Brands for the Hawkeyes, ranked 16th in the country. And undefeated Mikey Labriola, a perfect 18-0, toes the opposite line for the Cornhuskers. Labriola winning the Cliff Keenan Vegas, also won the Navy Classic, and he has been rolling.
Stay clean inside.
4-time All-American, one of 4 in program history, joining Brian Snyder, James Green, Chad Redd.
And so far, Nelson Brands reacting pretty well to that slide-by work, not putting a lot of pressure. When you have a good slide-by like Labriola does, it keeps guys from pushing in on you really hard with their upper body, kind of like what we saw with Kennedy. If you have a good slide-by in that situation, it's tough to, you know, tough for your opponent to kind of get you off the mark, so to speak.
Brands 2-1 in Big Ten duels this season, fell to Edmund Ruth of Illinois.
I think, again, this is a good start for Nelson Brands here, holding his own.
Keep the post clean.
Reacting well.
My time. You good?
See Ryan Morningstar and Tom Brands on your left. No score after 60 seconds.
Now you see that Nelson Brands coming inside with the collar tie. So this is a situation where both guys are being kept honest. They're not pushing the other around. So they're going to go have to change levels there. Another slide-by attempt there into a Merkle position for Labriola. But again, Brands is carrying a lot of his weight the right way. Almost gets to a leg. So this has turned into a tough match, Shane.
Guys both really heavy in the hands, or with the hands rather, good position.
And they haven't really started looking for leg shots yet. See, the vision is high on both guys.
Nelson Brands from Iowa City, Iowa, Iowa City West, won 3 state titles for the late Mark Ryland. We're still scoreless. 55 seconds in this first period.
You know, Brands, when he wants to be stingy, can really, you know, hold his position in there. He's doing an excellent job. You know, Labriola trying to find a clean shot, but it's really not available there. He's gonna have to double up or triple up on a fake. The longer this thing goes with no score, the more confidence Brands gets.
Keep them above the brows.
Right there's single leg attempt there by Labriola.
Neither guy with a threatening attack here in this first period. Good hard Physical hand fight, a lot of snaps.
Fight time. Stay out of it. Both guys above the brows. Both guys above the brows.
Talking about the hands in the face there, calling that potentially dangerous, both guys.
Labriola and Brand scoreless after 3 minutes. You see Real Woods and Spencer Lee. Spencer Lee winning his 47th straight match.
Second period.
And his 8th in program history. Came into tonight tied with Chris Campbell.
Legal.
Jim Zaleski, by the way, 89, the Iowa record.
Good
nice mat return from Nelson Brands.
And he collects the wrist down below. See how he's got that toe in? And this is one thing we saw. Take a look at this mat return. See how he collects the wrist, pops his hips in, look for the wrist. That's what you want to do. You can't slam a guy when you're looking for a wrist.
Stay set. Green cover legal.
As we move into high school wrestling tournament season here, see that every year where guys in the tournament gets excited and lifts the guy normally. Look for a wrist on the way down. You'll never get called for a slam.
Labriola, 1-0 with the escape. Labriola from Easton, Pennsylvania. Bethlehem Catholic, 4-time placer, 2-time champ.
And you can see where Labriola wants to go. He wants to go to that left leg there of Brand's. That's his lead leg on his shot. Brand's feet are moving pretty well in this match here. I'll see if he does it on the tie-up. You know, I'd like to see Nelson rattle off his shot right now because he's got a pretty decent shot to the left leg of Labriola.
Here's Labriola with a leg, but then quickly defended by Nelson Brands.
Yeah, gaining momentum in this match. I mean, Labriola has to sense that here. Got to look for his offense. Right now, Brand's feet aren't moving as fast as you'd probably like to see him move. See if he tries to hit a shot from space. Labriola maybe hit that lead leg shot.
Half a minute here in the second period. Brands will have choice in the third period. Just the escape by Labriola, the only scoring, and here's Labriola looking to get around, but like a cat, Nelson Brands defends.
Yeah, notice how he didn't come up quickly. He was all about turning, all about getting himself square. Then he came up to, came up to both feet.
Final seconds ticking away in this second period. A dogfight here at 174 pounds as they finish the period and go to the third.
See if we get a good quick look at the scramble right here on the snap down. Notice how he tried to square up first. Right here, squared up first before he came up, and that's where a lot of guys get in trouble. They kind of look into it and get cradled and all that. Good reactions there by Nelson Brands. Leg comes in. This is going to be trouble. It's over on the right-hand side. Elevation.
Wow. Gets an escape.
Nothing fancy there, just grabbed it and came to his feet.
Thought he might get a reversal there for a second.
Now you've got this Carver Hawkeye crowd behind you. Gives up the low shot. Can he worm his way out of this one? Doing a good job of keeping his hip over his knee. Right there. Just the punt right there would have been a good thing to do. Hold on to that position. Labriola wisely improves his position and takes advantage of Brand's aggression.
Labriola now 3-1. Quick escape by Brands. Critical escape. Riding time and on factor in this third period. 1-point match.
And Scalding calls really nowhere near there. And it's too early for...
Here's Brands' best shot.
Yeah, his only shot. Nice job of scrambling back here. This is where Labriola can cut the corner on you. Elbow deep. Burn a little clock right here.
Has that ankle back. Brands clinging to an ankle as a stalemate is whistled.
Now with 41 seconds left, you don't really have to go after it here for Labriola. You haven't been called for stalling. You know that Nelson Brands is going to make a big effort here. Don't get caught leaning into him.
30 seconds.
And this is where all that slide-by stuff works, Shane, where you can slide by your opponent. Boy, you really stepped hard on that one.
Labriola keeping territory, center of the mats. What does Brands have with 20 to go?
Yeah, see, boy, Labriola a couple of times really off balance with that right leg lead.
There's a stall call on Labriola. Just the first.
4 seconds.
Mikey Labriola in hostile territory escapes with a 3-2 decision. And he now is 19-0 on the season. Labriola over Brands at 174. 3 more on the board for the Cornhuskers. NCAA finalist Jacob Warner for the Hawkeyes and Silas Allred for Nebraska. Warner 10-2 this season.
Looking for, Warner, last year's NCAA runner-up, really had a nice tournament. A guy that you could count on all throughout his career in the top position, and he really brought that home last year at that weight class and kind of differentiated himself by getting some turns at some key times in the national tournament. And a guy that has to get back to that, you can go through a process of achievement. You got to think you got to expand your style and all this stuff. But kind of sometimes you just got to get back to who you are, and that's penetrating on shots like he just did right here, and being just really tough and wearing people out in the top position.
Warner, a 4-time All-American, 23rd in program history. In his 6th year out of Tolono, Illinois, wrestled at Washington High School. 3-time Illinois state champion. No score after 60 seconds. Allred from Anderson, Indiana. Shenandoah High School, 2-time state champion. Warner, one of those guys, Jim, just shows up in March when it matters most.
He has all throughout his career, and last year was great for him. Again, overtime match there with Max Dean for the NCAA finals. And he struggled at times in this, but he's a guy that if he limits it and does what he does best and controls a match, he can be right back where he was at the end of last year.
He was 7th at the championships in 2019, first team in 2020. In 2021, he was 4th, and then that final last year, losing to Max Dean 3-2.
This may sound kind of funny, but he's the type of guy that he could go 500 the rest of the season, and you really wouldn't surprise you if he had a great tournament.
197 in the Big Ten. 5 of the top 14. Max Dean ranked the highest, 4th. Then Warner is next in the Big Ten at 8th.
Warning, red.
There's a warning on Allred. Warner did not wrestle last week against Northwestern. Zach Glazier wrestled at 197 for the Hawkeyes. Here's Warner with 30 seconds, head to the outside on a single leg, trying to hit the corner.
He's stepping up. Now he's working on scooping the leg. Good flexibility by Allred. He's going to try to keep that wrist tied up. He doesn't do it. But now he swishers his hips out of there. Now he gets to a neutral position.
That was some phenomenal defense from Allred.
Flexibility.
Now some blood on the mat.
Let's take a look at this. You mentioned great defense. Warner just looks like he's in great position. Gets a little bit, doesn't really drive into him the way you could. See how his laces are flat, all right? So he's just trying to do this with his arms, okay? And you lose it when you do that. You got to have the coordination with pulling in with the arms and driving through with the lower body, get your laces up and go.
And one thing I noticed on that replay, Allred was attacking the left arm of Warner.
Yeah.
Jesse Donenworth with the head wrap. That's a great look.
Might as well go out there like that, right? Well, you have
Little
all your
Kickstart My Heart, Motley Crue playing in the back, Jim. I know you love some Motley Crue. One of the great, great CDs of all time. Tonight, you and I are going to go listen to some Motley Crue.
No, we're not.
Get you fired up.
No. No, sir. Yep. I'm not against them, all right, but it's just not my go-to.
Short time here in the first. Scoreless first. What is your go-to music, Jim?
Bottom neutral to
Oh,
red.
my
Red shorts
walkout
and
song
bottom.
would have been
Second period.
Gimme Shelter by the Stones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Red, stay set.
The
Green,
first
cover
part
legal.
of that was just where I was. In fact, I listened to it every time
Green.
before I left the house on my turntable.
The 8-track maybe in the car?
No, I don't know it. Didn't do 8-track, right?
Out.
My dad had 8-track though in his cars.
On the
Listened to a lot
vinyl,
of
right?
Johnny Cash. Yeah, I know it. I'm dating myself, but you know, sometimes
set,
you have
red.
to.
Green, cover legal.
Just experience.
Green.
Roll there from Allred.
Can you imagine what the wrestling room is like in Nebraska with Pinto and Allred going at it? It's like you give them like one mat to themselves.
And then throw Labriola into that
Yeah,
mix.
exactly.
Red down.
So 30 seconds of riding time for Warner to begin this second period.
Face me.
Allred
stay
last
set.
week in a pair
Green,
of Big
cover
Ten
legal.
dual meet victories. Beat Michael Foy of Minnesota 6-4. Andrew Davidson of Northwestern.
I'm going to take that
Got a
one. That's
10-2
me.
major.
Let's reset. Reset. That's me. Reset.
Good
Here we go.
communication there by the official. No caution on either man.
Good activity there by Allred, getting to his feet. Nice standing roll, but really did a nice job of following.
2. No, we're out. Reds are down.
Out of bounds. You heard that drop down count get to 2. There's the legendary Dan Gable and his wife Kathy taking in some Hawkeye wrestling on this Friday night.
I've
Stay set, red.
seen
Green,
a
cover
lot
legal.
of great action from those seats, and of course, the winning streak he had at Carver Hawkeye
Green.
Arena, and of course the 9 in a row, which has always been able to separate himself from the great programs with that effort there. But I always tell people this, is that the way his program was going when right before he left with 6 in a row, he was unbelievable. You know, they were that. I thought they were that much better. No man telling people that.
Warner showing his prowess in the top position. Riding time over a minute. Next week, of course, it will be 1 versus 2 here on the Big Ten Network with Iowa and Penn State. So many great matchups in that duel. Penn State a convincing victory over Michigan tonight.
Red down.
And Iowa doing the same against Nebraska tonight to set up the showdown, the collision course next Friday here on the Big Ten Network.
32.
Inside Bryce Jordan Center, be
Red, stay set.
16,000
Green, cover legal.
excited wrestling fans. Always one of the great nights of the year, Jim, when you got 1 and 2 in our sport.
Yeah, and of course that Bryce Jordan atmosphere that they have right now, would be great with 16,000 people in there. You know, if you're coaching Warner right now, you want him to do what he's doing right now. You want him to control a man, because you know it's so important for later in the season for him in those tight, 30-second goes. They're totally okay with it. They're not pointing for a major or anything like that. You know, the 0-0 score at this point in time, but it's huge for him in this situation to get his confidence and build his match conditioning. And Allred can find himself in this match if he can go ahead and get a quick escape.
Tough ride on top from Jacob Warner. There's a mat return. It's that 3rd and 1 situation I talk about. It's a first down for Warner. And he finishes the period on top. He rides the Husker the entire 2 minutes of the period.
Yeah, he moved the sticks on that one.
3rd period.
Hawkeye will go on bottom.
0-0. Got 2 minutes advantage, riding time. Green, stay set. Red, cover legal. Red.
Right-hand side ride there for Allred. Warner does a nice job of splitting the arms. Now he's going to give up the lock right there, but he's,
nope.
For whatever reason, Allred splitting the grip there, not getting to the mat return. But that right-hand ride may have just that
set green.
Being on that side, looks like it may have stopped Warner's first move. Now you've got a chance to collect yourself. You've coached this position here. We'll see what his first move is now. Nope, no move. Now he comes up.
Grabs that right wrist of Warner. 1-0 with the escape.
Again, too early to shut down if you're Warner.
Keep the post clean.
Warner, 2016 Cadet World Bronze medalist, Junior World Team member in 2018. Love to take one more step up on the podium in Tulsa in March and go out as an NCAA champion.
Well, and I think Allred may be making a mistake here and allowing him just to go ahead and beat him to the collar tie right now. There's a shot available there to that leg, that lead leg, if he decides to take it below the knee, but he's not looking for it. You can't wait just at the end. Score points when you think they're there. Now he's getting a little bit more active. Now it gets to that leg. Great that activity. Got to the leg at that time. Now he drives through.
Takedown for Allred. Essentially, Jim, it's a 2-2 match. His riding time is locked up. 28 seconds. Here we go.
Yeah, now you've got an opportunity. See how he's getting his activity level up, posts right to it. Gets below the leg right there. And you could sense he picked up his activity level, got to the leg. Now that was there. Yeah, plenty of time here to get a little bit of coaching there if you're Allred, and so now you've got to make a decision. Okay, now it's really important to, in my opinion, is to go ahead and evaluate. The coaches have seen Warner in the down position. They know what type of stance he's going to take. You know, have a clear definition of what you want your guy to do in the top position. For me, from what I've seen, I want him to put his chest lower across the hips, not up there by the shoulders. You can get too high when you're tired.
Get all the news and highlights from around the conference on The Big Show. It's coming up next right here on the Big Ten Network. Good look at Carver Hawkeye Arena. So here we go, 28 seconds.
No stall warnings.
Green, stay set. Red, wait, Red. The caution, wait till I call you on.
Yeah, right here. Look where Allred's putting his chest. Okay, now it's nice and low right there, so we can control the hips.
Quick stand up and a quick escape. Warner back out in front by 1.
Now a little more activity.
Allred trying to break the head-hands defense of Warner. He's down by 1. He's got 10 seconds.
Dropped his hips on him there. That'll be it.
That quick escape off the restart. The difference for Jacob Warner, a 3-2 decision. Three more for the Hawkeyes at 197. Tony Cassioppi, undefeated at 14-0, ranked 3rd in the country. And Cale Davidson for the Cornhuskers brings with him a mark of 9-11. Going back to last year, Cassioppi, 15 straight wins, tied for the longest of his career. He's got 9 pins this season, all in the first period. He's looked spectacular.
That'd be a great exclamation point to basically a Husker momentum stopper here. This is a program that had a lot of momentum going into the last week, and all of a sudden walk in here with a lot of hope. Not like a lot of other teams have it done in the past, but Iowa's showing that they're right there.
Single leg from Cassioppi, and there's 2 for the Hawkeye. Cassioppi against Northwestern beat Lucas Davidson 3-2. Takedown just over a minute left. That was the 40th win over a ranked opponent for Tony Cassioppi. Three-time All-American.
You know, and so far, Davidson's doing a nice job of keeping his wrist clean. All right, so that's one way of competing out there. He knows that Cassioppi wants to get to a wrist ride.
Break.
That's one thing that Cassioppi's always been able to do since he walked on campus. Put a lot of weight on guys and use his leverage. And good size frame, great grip.
Stay set, Red. Green, cover legal.
You know, he went through that body transformation phase where maybe he was a little bit bigger than he is right now, but, you know, I think having that size really worked as an advantage here for him. He's excellent top position and knowing how to use that leverage. Nice chop right there.
Just like that, riding time coming up on a minute. Cassioppi from Roscoe, Illinois, Hononegah High School. 2021 U23 World Champion. He was bronze at the WW U23 Worlds in 2022.
But see how he's rolling his wrist out there? He gets his thumb down and battling in there. Davidson.
Warning, Red.
Yeah, Tony can ride you forever.
Well, he can, but I see a guy who's competing in the bottom position right there, and a lot of lighter weight guys ought to just take a look at that. You want to figure out how to not. Now he's in a bad way here with his elbow out. But watch him, he's peeling that hand. He knows exactly where to go to, and he's going to roll that right thumb out at the right time.
Has that near wrist. Davidson from Wichita, Kansas, two-time state champion at Goddard, and then he went to Wyoming.
See, look at him. His face. It doesn't look like it, folks, but he's battling down there, okay?
Yes, he is. This is where Cassioppi's so strong.
Warning, Red. That's one.
Yep.
Second stall call.
Now he's in better position. Cassioppi is, right, to thread that left arm through there, trying to get his hold of that chin. See how he's kind of working his arm down there, get a hold of that chin. Now he limps out at the right time. I mean, that's just... It doesn't look like it, folks, but that dude underneath is competing.
Davidson will live to see another period. That first one was not easy for the Cornhusker.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. I mean, some guys are just hard to pin. So roll that wrist out right here, that left wrist, throw it up. There's a lot of lightweights that should pay attention to what's going on there. I see way too many guys giving this stuff out.
No surprise. Davidson with choice. He's not going back on bottom, Jim. We'll go neutral.
Well, get in there and show us something, man. Take a shot, all right? So that's
good.
Tony's guy does
single.
it. Yeah, drives down.
5-0 for Cassioppi.
That near wrist drive.
Stay action.
So you come out to the side like that, I think Cassioppi would get a stall call, right? Come out to the side like that, control a man, that near wrist ride. Now they want Cassioppi to go up on the feet. You saw the look from the corner there. He looked at his, there's the shot there. Davidson, counter shot there by Cassioppi. Nice finish. Drives him through.
Cassioppi getting it done on his feet.
He's going to look up to his corner one more time, and they're probably going to tell him to let him up.
Bonus point territory here for the Hawkeyes at heavyweight.
Warning, Red.
Another stall call.
Well, what I did like about that, I mean, that the Cassioppi is off to the side. No question about it. We're not parallel riding there with a one-on-one wrist ride, so working hard in that top position.
Improve it, gentlemen.
Cale Davidson's just overmatched. He's kind of 2-on-1 on that wrist underneath, trying to dig it out, get behind the back.
Final seconds in this second period. Riding time already locked up.
Green, good period.
So Cassioppi up by 8. He's got the choice.
Neutral.
Tony wants to stay on
Third
his feet.
period, we're neutral. Set.
See what he does here if he comes back to that lead leg. Yep, kind of chasing that lead leg of Davidson.
Cassioppi with 3 takedowns.
Ooh, nice job coming back, creating a little space, finishing the other side. That was sweet.
Make it 4.
1 center.
Good attack right there on the edge.
Oh, he's keeping that left foot in bounds. Good job.
Fantastic awareness from Tony Cassioppi. Knew exactly where he was.
1,
See his Hawkeye teammates.
2, 3, out.
Count gets to 3. Goes out of bounds.
Yeah, take a look at this. He's spread out here pretty well. So he knows he's got to keep that foot in. Spread
set,
out pretty
Red.
well. Turns him back in. Collapses on him.
Stay set. Green. Screen.
Caution on Cassioppi.
Good set. Here we go. Stay set. Green.
You know, just sometimes you're doing the right techniques. It's just the guy on top. He is a little stronger. Obviously very athletic. Right now,
Looking for a
cross
tilt.
wrist. Whoa, he gets this.
Maybe a fall. It's close.
Same hold. Same hold.
4 near fall points upcoming. They are awarded 16-2. So Cassioppi has that riding time locked up. So if he'd finish this match on top, he would have the tech fall. We'll see how he plays it.
Well, you know, doesn't make any difference if you're overmatched or not. You know, in this situation, he's working hard in that top position. They're going to go neutral, escape takedown. So 1 takedown gives him the tech fall.
He wants the stick. Cassioppi settling in, and he gets the fall. His 10th of the season.
What a way to get the crowd riled up there in the last match. Tony Cassioppi dominant in the top position. A lot of work. 5 takedowns. Catch Davidson coming in on a long shot, got extended.
Tony Cassioppi caps the night for the Hawkeyes as they get 3 pins